Woof woof! Hey guys, it's me Marcus, aka the Mad Dog, and thank you for tuning in to another video. So it's the 28th of October, which means that finally, after being pushed back countless times, TMNT The Last Ronin issue 1 has finally been released. I woke up ready this morning, I brought it off Kindle and I've already read it. It's about 10 o'clock in the morning in the UK and I just want to give my immediate reaction. But a few months ago I did do a video where I went through which turtle it's most likely to be and I gave betting odds and things like that, and I just thought it'd be good to kind of do a bit of a follow up to that. So this is a spoiler free section and this book was really enjoyable. I enjoyed near enough every single page of it. It's really dark, it's really intense and gritty, and it gives you this look into a world that you don't really normally see the turtles in. The art's vibrant and I actually think it was better than what I was expecting from those sample pages that we got a few months ago. There is a ton of action from the first page, it's pretty much in fifth gear from the get-go, and for an introduction into a mini-series I think this really establishes the world that the character's in, who the main players are within it, and also what's at stake for The Last Ronin, because what I was really hoping for was for the series to be quite grounded, and it felt like that. The Last Ronin, and that's the way I'm going to refer to the turtle at the moment, has a very personal mission within this. He's not trying to save the world from everything, like they talk about pollution and the way that crimes run rampant in the city, but still, this Last Ronin is about his mission. I should have expected this, but it does feel quite like a swan song for the turtles in general, and I think that's the best way that they could have gone about this story. We are introduced to who will probably be the main bad guy throughout the majority of the series. For me, I wasn't really too impressed with that reveal or who the character actually is. I understand obviously if it's set in the future some things have to be changed a little bit here and there, but I didn't really have this intense personal connection with the person that the Last Ronin's going up against. They plant a few seeds to suggest that maybe it isn't the case, but for me I just feel like this bad guy in particular really just reminded me of Kylo Ren. I'm not sure if that was intentional, but it was just the vibe that I was getting throughout, and I am kind of hoping that later on in the series they kind of move that person out for someone else. However, you might be wondering if it's worth picking up TMNT The Last Ronin in single issues or waiting for a trade paperback. Admittedly, for me, I think with some of the information that we do get in this first issue, and that's with me not trying to say any spoilers or anything like that, I think if you want this to be a mystery and you want to be surprised by a lot of the elements in it, I think you have to go into single issues with this series. I think if you're waiting for the trade paperback, all the good stuff is going to be ruined for you, and for me, I don't really read single issues too much. This is the first one that I've probably read in a long time, but there's so much energy and I'm already excited for that second issue that I think this is going to be something fun to follow as it's coming out. And my rationale is that I think that they might not come out with a deluxe edition straight out the gate once the series is finished, and they might do like a standard sized hardcover, but considering that issue 1 alone had 71 different variant covers, I think it's going to be something that I'm happy to wait for the deluxe edition, so that's why I'm going to go with it for single issues. And personally, I'd probably recommend that you do the same. But that's all I can really say without spoiling too much more, so now we're going to get into the spoiler section. But I know the two main questions that I had going into this book was, were they going to tell us who the Last Ronin is and if it would be in the first issue, and if so, who it would be? I'm going to answer those questions in that order, so if you want the answer to the first one and then want to tap out, that's perfectly fine. Just remember to like the video and subscribe if you haven't done so already. But yes, you will find out by the end of this first issue who exactly the Last Ronin is. It isn't going to be one of those things where they drag it out for 5 issues, or worse, don't even tell you at all. And in case you were wondering which of the 4 turtles is the Last Ronin, it is Michelangelo, and it is revealed in quite an emotional way. April O'Neil's there, and she's quite a bit older now, obviously, because it's set in the future, and you see that Michelangelo's pushed himself past the point of exhaustion because he was trying to infiltrate Karai's son's base. I've already forgot his name, and that's what I'm saying, like, this bad guy in particular didn't really strike me as a formidable threat. The entire time he was hiding behind all these robots and all this technology, and he didn't really come out to fight or anything like that. But as well, I do feel like Karai is going to play a bigger role in this because of the fact that they've got her in some kind of cryo chamber. It's kind of that film theory, I can't remember who exactly it was who said it, but I'm sure somebody's going to correct me, where it's something like Todorov's gun theory, that if you show a gun at the beginning of a film, it has to be shot by the end of the film. And I think Karai at this point is the equivalent to that gun. As well, I get the feeling that Shredder isn't completely gone. The fact that they haven't confirmed that he's dead, to me says that he's going to be somewhere in this universe. That for me is where I really want this story to go. I want it to kind of be like a video game, that, you know, you've got this bad guy at the beginning who's Karai's son, and it isn't really that much of a threat, and then Karai's going to come back, and then all of a sudden at the end he has to face Shredder on his own. But that's what I'm hoping for from this series. There was a lot of promise within this. I'm not really too sure now that I've got the answer if I am happy with the fact that they told us who the Last Ronin is. It did come as a welcome surprise that it was Michelangelo, because throughout the issue I noticed that he was using Raphael's sides quite a lot, and I thought that might have been intentional, but the 3 other turtles, you know, Leonardo, Raphael and Donatello, they are with him as ghosts, sort of like we saw in that variant cover months ago, and they do talk to him throughout, and I was trying to piece together who it might have been from the language that they were using. But it was difficult because when you don't know which turtle is which, Donatello and Leonardo sound quite similar, and Michelangelo and Raphael could have also had the same dialect. So they do give you quite a lot of clues, but the secret is now out that Michelangelo is of course our last Ronin. Who knows, I don't want to theorise too much now that the series has started, but it could very well be the case that Michelangelo could have been dead and this could be Raphael or Donatello assuming his identity for some reason. I don't really think that could be the case, it's probably just some kind of mad fan theory that I've got. But now that we know it's Michelangelo, I'm interested to see where this story is going just because of how dark this is as a character. You saw him not really showing any mercy, you saw him kind of breaking down, and I said this in my prediction video, but the fact that it's Michelangelo makes the story a lot sadder because he always was the happy-go-lucky one. So to see him as this dark, brooding character who's mourning for his family and he's trying to like get this sort of last swan song where he can avenge the loss that he's suffered, it's just really brutal. If it would have been Raphael, he would have gone off and done this on his own crusade, but I also think the passage of time is interesting. Like, when exactly did the turtles die, and how exactly has Michelangelo survived since then? I really hope we do get more flashbacks and stuff like that. And I also like that it seems that there is a daughter of Casey Jones in this universe. I don't know if it's also April O'Neil's kid, she looked like she had some of the similar features. I'm not really sure if that's going to pan out much further than that, but it was interesting to see that they are incorporating all these elements of the TMNT story in The Last Ronin. But obviously, like I said, this is just a review of issue 1. I'm probably not going to do reviews of issues 2, 3, 4 and 5. I might do something when the series is over, but like I said, I wanted to have a video that's kind of like a follow-up to the predictions video that I did a few months ago. If I did have to give a rating based on a single issue, for TMNT The Last Ronin issue 1, it would probably 4 out of 5 woofs. Woof, 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 woof. But that's all I'm going to say for now. I probably already dragged this video out way more than I needed to for a review of a single issue. Like I said, this has been my immediate reaction to reading the issue, whereas normally I take a bit more time to formulate my thoughts, but I think with how hyped up this event has been, it was important that I do this. Not just because I need views. But I hope you've enjoyed it, I hope it's helped you to make some kind of decision on if you're going to pick up this series or not. Comment below if you've already read it, but make sure that you label it as spoilers if you're going to talk about specifics of the issue. But if you like this video, please give it a thumbs up, and if you didn't like this video, why did you get this far? Please subscribe if you haven't done so already and click the bell notification so that you never miss a video. And if you want to support the channel, it is greatly appreciated. I'm not going to ask for a Patreon or anything like that, but maybe you want to buy this first issue as well. All I ask is that you treat yourself to a book and click the Amazon affiliate link down below. I can't see any of your details, it doesn't increase the price, it just means that eventually I'm finally going to be able to save up for another camera. But check out some of my social media links so that you can always keep up to date on what's happening with the channel. But until next time, just make sure that you stay safe, keep reading, and keep barking all you mad dogs, and I'll see you in the next video.